Up until a few years ago, Marissa was a phenomenal young lady. She played basketball. She won a beauty pageant. A few years ago, she started acting out. She started smoking marijuana, started vaping. She started speaking to me with such disrespect. She screamed at me, "I hate you."
Sometimes you can be very, very strict.
This past summer, it was around 3 o'clock in the morning. She decided it would be a great idea to sneak 2 boys into our house. Last year, she was on her computer at school bullying another student, and she ended up getting suspended for 10 days. Marissa has stolen my car at least 9 times. One of those times, she even wrecked my car. The last time she got caught, the police escorted her home. You were brought home at 4 a.m. by the cops. Of course, you're gonna have consequences. When I fall asleep, she's figured out when I'm gonna be able to wake up and when I'm not, and she takes advantage of that. When you lie to me, I get really angry. Most of our arguments revolve around her lying. One time, a boy at school hit her in the face. The next day, she told somebody that her dad hit her. She definitely has 2 sides. She's an amazing young lady, but it's like a light switch. She becomes the manipulating, the lying. I am mentally and physically exhausted. I fear that Marissa could end up dead. I have been watching Dr. Phil since I was 7. Dr. Phil has been kind of like a father figure to me. Dr. Phil, I desperately need your help.
Well, Heather, I'm glad you kept writing. I'm sorry you had to do it so many times. There are a couple things that I want to touch on first. Do you agree that relationships are mutually defined?
Yes, 100%.
So the 2 of you have conspired, gotten together, and mutually defined how you get along, what defines your day-to-day relationship. You have ownership in it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
As does she.
Yes.
And would you agree that despite your frustrations, you must have done a lot of things right? Because in many respects, this is a spectacular young woman. Do you agree with that?
I would like to.
But then there are behaviors that you're not proud of,
Yes.
that she does, and those things bother you, and you're concerned that they're kind of gateway behaviors to worse conduct that could get her in real trouble.
Absolutely. That is a huge factor.
And when did this start showing up?
It started showing up about 2 or 3 years ago. Pretty extreme.
I put together a timeline of behaviors, and one of the ones that jumped out at me was December 4th of 19, so a little over a year ago. She steals your car to sneak out for the first time. So
Yes.
that had to be a shock to you.
It was a huge shock, yes.
Yeah, because at that point she was 14.
Right.
Then shortly after that, she sneaks a boy into the house, then steals your car, gets high, and drove into a ditch. She commented about this to a friend.
Yeah, she texted.
In a text message. She says, "Oh, well, we went to blank and smoked 3 bowls.
Yeah.
I puked, then blank drove back home, and I left. I crashed the car into a ditch. Someone had to come and pull us out. Then I waited 30 minutes, went home, and didn't get caught," laughing emoji. "But we was high blank, bro." When you read that, what was your reaction?
This broken.
Now, Heather drove her daughter Marissa 1,600 miles from Arkansas to be here with me today because she believes I'm her only hope to get her daughter back on the right path. That's a lot of pressure on me. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.